some point we were talking about these chips, and at some point I suggested, look, if these chips really are of an explosive nature or an incendiary of some type, then all it would take would be to put one of these things in a calorimeter and see what kind of energy we got out as we heated them up. I know they're energetic, so there's no question about that. I mean, the calorimeter's not going to lie to us.
As my materials scientist friend said, they blow up. We found that the energy release is very rapid, so it gives you a very narrow spike in the machine. We compared our spike that we got with a spike from known nanothermite, which is produced at a military laboratory. Their measured energy released with known nanothermite was less than these red-gray chips. We captured the residue after the material had been heated. The red-gray chips, as we ignite them, produce spheres that have iron and aluminum, just like we see in the dust in abundance. So now we have an explanation, or at least a correspondence, from what we see in the dust after the reaction of the red chips and before. So, I mean, everything just click, click, click fit together. It's very exciting, really, from a scientific point of view.
When you put all that data together, then you obviously can draw your own conclusions, but the conclusion that we drew, which I think is a very good one, is that these chips are energetic. I mean, these chips have something to do. I mean, they're like an incendiary.
This pyrotechnic explosive material should not be in the World Trade Center dust, particularly in these large quantities. I mean, there are people in these buildings. What are these tons of explosives doing in there? Unless somebody really wanted those buildings to come down completely.
Steve didn't know what he was looking for when he first started looking through the dust. And we didn't know what we were looking for. We didn't know what we would find. You know, we're doing this on a shoestring, and I mean, we're being supported exclusively by private individuals. We did what we could with what we had. Obviously, you can always question that, and all the stuff that we've done can be reproduced. I was a little bit surprised and disappointed that there weren't more people that wanted to try to reproduce the work.
It's kind of funny, these guys sit back and sort of take pot shots, but we're the ones doing the experiments. We're in the lab. You know, we're doing the tests. And we're finding out that there's a lot more to 9/11 than just Al-Qaeda hijackers hitting the buildings.
I'm not trying to blame anybody or accuse anybody of anything. I just think that we need to continue looking at this. I don't think it's done. I don't think we've answered all the questions. I know we haven't answered all the questions because people are still asking them. And those that were part of the official investigation, they actually did what they said they were going to do. And they did what they were mandated to do. The problem is the mandate didn't go far enough. It needed to run the full, the full investigation, find out everything about what happened that day. Everything. Not just, okay, tell us how these buildings could have possibly collapsed. And don't look at anything else.